Hello everyone, Sally here, and welcome back to another Bedrock Edition tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to build a very simple, cheap, and really efficient micro farm or nano farm in your Bedrock Edition worlds. This farm is super easy to put together, and it has a lot of very nice bonuses that most other micro farms do not. So of course, this farm works with all of the standard crops that you have in the game. For example, wheat, beetroots, carrots, potatoes, and even your 2 tall flower types as well. As an additional bonus, this farm is 100% bone meal efficient, so every single bone meal that you put into the farm will be completely used on bone mealing your crops. Thanks to our simple redstone for this farm, we can have bone meal refilling chests, so you just chuck in your bone meal into whichever chest you like, and that'll refill all the dispensers below that chest. A very nice and convenient feature that most micro farms do not have. To demonstrate the farm, we can go ahead and turn on the left lever, plant in our wheat, and as you'll see, we get a ton of that very quickly. We can also get a ton of beetroots extremely quickly too, loads and loads of carrots, and absolute boatloads of potatoes too. If we want to use this farm with the 2 tall flowers, all we need to do is flick the right lever to lock in the dirt position, plant in our 2 tall flower, and as you can see, we'll get a ton of those very quickly, which is very nice. This farm is extra efficient because it actually bone meals crops in both locations, so the lower location right here, and also in the upper location as well. So there's no time wasted, giving you maximum crops as fast as possible. If we take a quick fly around this farm, you'll see that pretty much all of the redstone is below the ground layer, and this right here is the ground layer. So this is the front here if you're on and off switch, and of course your 2 tall flower switch as well. Swinging around the back side, you can see that we just have 2 pieces of redstone above the ground layer, and then our clock is this very simple 2-tick repeater clock, and there's only 1 observer in the entire build. Our water source is hidden right here by a stair, and that is basically just waterlogged. If we remove this farmland real quick, you'll see that the water is right there, and that's really all there is to it. It is the simplest redstone that you can really get. There's not much expense to it, and it is very easy to build. This tutorial is part of my advent calendar for December of 2020, so every single day of December 2020, I'm going to be releasing a tutorial on the channel, some kind of farm, contraption, or something useful and fun for you guys to build in your worlds. If you would like to help support the series, then of course leaving a like and sharing around the video has a massive impact. And of course, if you would like to see all of these advent calendar videos, then make sure to subscribe. There's going to be another 28 videos and tutorials after this one, so make sure to stay tuned. I got lots of really good things planned for your guys' faces. And let's hop into the tutorial, shall we? For those of you who are interested, there's going to be a materials listed down below for your convenience, and we're going to need a 4 long by 3 wide build area for your micro farm. Now, one thing to note is that this is going to be 3 blocks below the ground layer, so this right here is where you're actually going to be standing and where your floor is actually going to be, and then the majority of the redstone is going to be down here in this area. So this right here is going to be the front of the build. You'll be standing around this area to plant your crops. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, you want to place a solid block right there with a sticky piston above it and a dirt block above that. We'll till it later. We need 3 placeholder blocks in these locations with 2 dispensers facing towards that dirt block on top of those blocks. You can now remove those if you feel like it. And we need to go around the back side of this. Place in a repeater on 3 ticks right here with 2 redstone dust, an observer facing downwards towards that repeater, and then a redstone torch above that observer. Place in 2 solid blocks right here with redstone dust above both of those, and that is going to power all 6 of your dispensers very easily. Now we can go ahead and install the redstone clock. So place 4 blocks in all of these areas like so. Place in a repeater right here on 2 ticks, redstone dust, and then a redstone torch. That is going to start clocking and be very loud and noisy, so we're going to remove that for the time being. Flip around to this side and place in 3 solid blocks in these areas, a repeater right here, and a redstone dust. 1 solid block above that dust, and then your on-off switch will be going right here. We're going to flick that lever and then put our redstone back, and as you can see, the farm is now off. And now we need to install our water source, so go down into this area and place a stair facing upside down and this location right here. We now want to surround this with some blocks, so a normal solid block right there, a block right here, and a block right here, install your redstone dust, and put your lever right here for your 2 tall flower switch. If you don't want your 2 tall flower switch, that's perfectly fine. Just remove the lever and the redstone dust. It's a completely optional little side feature. We now need to install some filler blocks to make sure that items don't pop through and have weird physics. So basically just place in a couple of placeholder blocks in those areas and right here as well, just to reduce the chance of items flying out of the farm and being lost forever. Once you've installed those 3 blocks, click on that stair with a water bucket and that will waterlog it. We can now go ahead and get our hoe and till that dirt, and that'll become moisturized shortly. If you want to, now's a great time to install the hoppers for all of your refilling of your dispensers. You will notice that the lower hoppers are actually locked, so they can't deliver bone meal to these dispensers, but once you turn on the farm, those will become unlocked, and they'll actually provide enough bone meal to keep them filled all the time, so you'll never run out of bone meal in them. Go ahead and place in your double chests above all of these. Once your double chests are installed, make sure you have a block right there so items don't fly up and out and over. And if you're not planning on having any double chests, then make sure that you put blocks in those areas. If you're not going to have any double chests and you don't care about 2 tall flowers, you can remove all of those and just have a singular block right there in that location. And finally, of course, make sure you fill up all of your dispensers with some bone meal or put some bone meal into your input chests, and those will slowly fill up your top dispensers. Once you turn on the farm, the bone meal, if there's any left over, will start to fill up the bottom dispensers. You also want to make sure that you put a block right here because, you know, it's a good place to have a block. And now we can finally test out the farm. So you want to stand basically all the way against these blocks right here, and then just start planting in and holding down your seeds or your potatoes or your carrots or whatever. As you can see, it works very, very well, and I'm quite happy with how this turned out. Now, there is the potential for certain lag, such as on realms or maybe heavy servers, to have issues with this, in which case you could try adjusting the repeater timings in the back and see what works for you. Although honestly, lag is kind of a mean thing and you might be slightly out of luck. Now, we can also test out the 2 tall flower thing as well. Very straightforward. Place it in there, and bam, you get yourself a ton of 2 tall flowers. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about today's Bedrock Edition tutorial, then please do let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always trying to help you guys out as best as I possibly can. But otherwise, if you enjoyed today's video and want to help out the series, then make sure to leave a like and potentially share this video around with your friends. It has a massive, massive impact and really helps out the video and the channel a ton. If you would like to see a lot more of these videos on the channel in the future, then of course make sure to subscribe, and otherwise I'll see you all down in the comment section and in the next one. Thank you so very much for watching, and then there was silence.